Hello, David Zaritsky for the Bond Experience. Welcome back. Just wanted to look fondly back on an event that happened not too long ago, and it was something that I was honored to be a part of, and I thought I would talk about it a little bit more on my channel for those of you that couldn't partake. So there was a concert spectacular celebration, mostly focused around the 3 anniversaries that we're celebrating in 2023. Of course, From Russia with Love, Live and Let Die, and Octopussy. And many, many months ago, when this was being planned, a good friend of mine, Warren Ringham, who leads the Cue the Music group, the wonderful James Bond homage orchestra that you've known for many years, asked me to be the compere. And the first thing I needed to do was look up, what the heck is a compere? It's just not a vernacular that we use in the United States. We use master of ceremonies or host, and that's exactly what the compere is to be really the master of ceremonies in introducing the individual songs, speaking to some of the Bond alumni, maybe having a little chit chat with the audience and engaging them, being a part and parcel to the Bond audience and being one of them. And that was the real ask from Warren, which is, I want you to really connect with the audience as maybe you connect with the people on your channel, except this is going to be a little bit different because I'm talking to a camera right now, and this is going to be talking to a few thousand people. You see, it was at the O2 Arena where The World Is Not Enough was filmed. You know the scene, amazing scene. And it's a huge, huge venue. I think one of the largest, if not the largest, that Cue the Music has ever played. And it really was a 3+ hour celebration. There was a pre-party, there was a post-party with a lot of different events. But in the middle, the chunky center, the very reason why people came to London and came into town and plunked down money was to really hear the music from Cue the Music. And I've got to tell you, it was an amazing experience. I mean, I hate to use those superlatives. You're like, what else are you going to say, David? He's a friend of yours. But it really was, because there's a few things that I haven't talked about. Number one, this was an opportunity for Warren to really show his leadership skills. And what I mean by that is what you don't see. You hear the music, but what you don't see up on stage is that Warren is the type of leader that doesn't sit there and dictate. He doesn't instruct. At least with me, he didn't. He basically said, David, here are the moments. Here are the songs we're going to be playing. Your conversations, your vernacular, what you do on stage, it's up to you. He didn't really give me more guidelines than that, which was great, because he knew that somebody like me, a creator, needs to create. It needs to be unencumbered and empowered. That's the biggest word I could use, is empowered to do what they do. And the other thing is, I can't be scripted. Like, I'm not scripted now. And can you imagine? I mean, that would be, I would flub up my lines. This is why could probably never be in a movie, but I can't do scripting. So he needed to allow me to do my crazy improv, to have my sense of humor, if you want to call it that, my wit, half of it, right? And he allowed me to do all of that. And I think because of that, he and the band and I were able to then connect with the audience. And in a survey that I just saw, it was wildly, wildly embraced and appreciated, and people loved it. To the point where, will we do it again? Time will tell, but I think if I was to lay out the solitaire cards and say, I think it's a high likelihood we will do something like this again, I would say it's a high likelihood. I know my hand is firmly raised. One of the best things I liked about this was to understand all the work that goes into putting something like this on. There's an incredible amount of rehearsal and preparation, discussion. For example, the songs and the music may seem random, but they have to tell a story. And this was, I mean, that's why I walked on stage. The first thing I said to people was, I said, this is about storytelling. Tonight is about storytelling. Storytelling in the form of music, of songs, of recollection and anecdotes with Bond alumni, of talking to the audience. All of those things are good storytelling. And the best of the James Bond storytelling is about escapism and weaving the story thoroughly and seamlessly. And that's exactly what he had to do with his choice of songs. Now, backstage, I can tell you right now, holy cow, I've got to have a new appreciation of putting on these shows with the backstage magic. And it is magic. I mean, you would think that there's, 20 people to say go and go and go, but no, everybody has to really be on the ball. They have to know what their parts are and what their play is. And you had this much room to walk in between each other backstage. So sometimes, like Kerry, the wonderful, wonderful lead singer, she would be coming off. Well, if I walked to come on, we'd be smashing each other in the face. Not the nicest thing to do to Kerry. Not the nicest thing to do to me. So we had to kind of wait and time everything correctly. And of course, we didn't know that until the night of. No teleprompter, so there was that. I mean, these are things that you don't get to see, so you have to go on the fly, but this is where real leadership comes into play and the real magic. I mean, Warren doesn't get flustered. I've never seen him raise his voice. He's just that type of a person. And he really cares about the experience that's created. At the end of the day, with all the challenges that may make a part of any of these type of shows or events, he did the right thing. You think about the experience of the audience, and because of that, everybody's experience was pretty amazing. That all being said, I wanted to show you something else, because again, these are things like you wouldn't normally see. You didn't see it on my Instagram, maybe you won't see it on the video, but they had a merchandise table in the back, which I thought was so cool. I'm like, this is like bona fide theater. You have a merchandise table in the background. And they had some really cool merchandise, of which I was able to get some things, and I wanted to show them to you because there was such an outcry from the Bond community afterwards, like, I wasn't at the show. You had this, I want to buy it. So now he's set up a store so people can buy these things. First of all, a deck of playing cards, Cue the Music playing cards. Now, these aren't just, it's a cute wrapper with Cue the Music, and no. No, these playing cards have, I got to get this open because you got to see this. It has the band a part of this. I mean, which is just absolutely amazing. But it's got all the Cue the Music show details. But look at this. Look at that. Look at that. It's got some of the singers on here. It's got some of the drummers. It's got Warren doing his orchestration. Look at that, the Joker. It's really cool, and it's very personal, and it's something, again, I know it's a deck of cards, but it's something that connects you to the fact that these are Bond fans doing things for Bond fans, which is just, to me, some of the greatest magic that's being created right now. Diamonds Are Forever was one of the songs that was picked, so of course, at the merch table, you had these Cue the Music diamonds. Look at that. Beautifully etched and engraved. And I kind of like it just for the very sense of you put that with your Diamonds Are Forever display or your desk. And then you also have the Cue the Music. And people are going to pick it up and go, what's Cue the Music? And you go, well, let me tell you about Cue the Music. I know Cue the Music and you know Cue the Music. Maybe that's what they would say. This is something else that's super cool. Very, very Bond. Very Bond, very executive level, I think. And it is, look at that, a pen keychain set. But look at that, it's got Cue the Music on it, etched in there really well. It's so hard to see on this pen, I know in this video. It's not going to do it justice, but look at that. Beautiful. And these things, I've tried them out. They write extremely well. They're very smooth. They feel like high-end writing tools, if you will. Here's the other one. And look at that. That's like right out of Octopussy. Acid, anybody? Poison pen? The writing's on the wall. There's so many things you can do with that. But that's a beautiful, like, executive set. And I'm thinking, like, the holidays are coming up. You know, you got that Bond fan in your life, or maybe it's you are that Bond fan in your life, and you're like, what do I get myself? And it doesn't break the bank. The other thing, which I thought was just perfect, you don't have a lot of space. You live in an apartment, or you just got a little desk, but you also want to have your little homage piece from Cue the Music. There's the wonderful emblem, and then look at this. It's poker chips, but not just any poker chips. It's got the different characters from Cue the Music, like Warren, the trumpet player. I didn't see that coming. There's no David Zaritsky in here. You know why? That's because I'm a guest. I'm like, you know, in the Love Boat, how they show the individual, you know, Love Boat, and then the faces come in like Charo and stuff like that. I'm Charo. I'm the Charo of Cue the Music. I've said that before. All right, the thing that I thought would sell out, and I heard it didn't sell out, but maybe it got close to selling out. Maybe they don't even have it anymore. I just thought this, everybody's going to want this because it's not the James Bond Steifen bear, but it's the next best thing. Look at this. A Cue the Music. Look at that. It's a little bear, and this thing is actually soft and plushy. It's not this piece of garbage with, like, you know, styrofoam beads in it that you win at a fair. It's kind of a nice piece made by Regal Toys. I mean, Regal Toys. Don't get me started on I've never heard of them. Never. But it's a nice bear, but it's cute and it's small. And again, you could just have it sitting there. But it's got obviously a very James Bond moment, and it's got Cue the Music. I don't know. This just kind of plays on my heartstrings, and we always talk about not enough toys, and there's a Cue the Music toy, is what I'm saying. But the creme de la creme, if you were to get one thing, I think, in my opinion, is a souvenir of the evening. And whether you were there or not there, a souvenir of arguably one of the biggest music events, certainly of 2023 as it pertains to Bond, is this. Now, this was Warren Ringham, obviously. This was his vision. However, Ruben Wakeman, you know very well, designed and put this together. And this is a thing of beauty. First of all, it's not only beautiful to look at. I mean, look at the pictures. I'm not gonna do it justice. But look at how it's laid out. I mean, this is so professional because Ruben is a professional, but this has articles in here. It has the history of music. It's got all the technical stuff. It's got individual bios. Look at these. Who's that creep? Who's that creep? I don't like him. I'm going to rip that page out or draw a mustache on him. That's what I'm going to do. But it's got all the people that we interviewed. Look at that. And by the way, they love this. The Bond alumni wound up actually loving this piece. It's got articles. Like I talk about the anniversary of styles. Like I'm wearing the Octopussy Harrington right now. I talk about that. Like what are the anniversary moments that we have in these years? And this is some great pictures from Matthew Gibbs you can see in there. So we've got even more artists represented in here. Just, it goes on and on. We've got something from AJ in here. Really, 007 is in here. Martijn Mulder goes over the locations. I mean, this is a bona fide book. This isn't a pamphlet. This is like a collectible item. And look at that imagery on the back. So if you were to get one thing, if you're saying like, I don't know, David, I can't get the bear, the cards, and the book, what would you get? I would get the book because, again, it goes on a bookcase. You have it as a coffee table book. You could see all your friends in here. It's got some great articles. It's going to take you some time to get through. This isn't like a cute little thing you read on the Turlet. The Turlet. You imagine that for a tagline? Cue merchandise. Perfect for reading on the Turlet. See, now, it's going to take you a little bit extra time. Maybe 3 visits to the Turlet. That's my Brooklyn accent, by the way. Yeah, decipher it. Anyway, it was magical. The whole thing, merchandise, people. At the heart of it, and I'll say this again, at the heart of it, what I truly loved about being a part of this trajectory is that when the Bond community does things for the Bond community, to me, that is the most magical, motivating, and inspirational moments. When you connect with people and you can touch them, dink, 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 this is glass, this is a robot, this is impersonal. But when you can connect with them as humans, face to face, like a concert or pre-parties or a tune raker or anything like that, those are the truly magical moments that you take with you and remember. I mean, I get it. I'm a product guy. I love products. I love things. But things are just, you connect with them as an individual. But when you connect with things as a group, like listening to music together, applauding or laughing or cajoling, or meeting, or touching, or handshaking, or taking a picture together, it transforms your relationship with each other, and it transforms the relationship with James Bond, and I think that's what Cue the Music has done over time. It's transformed our relationships in the Bond community to be even stronger. It transcends the music that comes out of their instruments, and it really connects on an emotional level. So, my hope for you is that sometime in the future you get to connect and actually listen to them live, because there's nothing like it. I've been told that for years, and I finally was able to experience it. But this was my purview. This was my behind the scenes thing. So Hope that was fun, helpful. I'll put some links down below for you to encounter more with Cue the Music. In the meantime, this has been David Zaritsky for the Bond Experience. We'll see you real soon. Take care. Thanks for watching this episode. If you want to be up on the latest from the Bond Experience, just click on this subscribe and subscribe to our channel. You're going to get all the latest and greatest information, plus some exclusive content. And by the way, speaking of content, here's something especially for you, just because we know you. Talk to you soon.